Greener Pastures by Saavedra. I am the gate. Those who come in through me will be saved. They will come and go freely and will find good pastures. John 10:9 NLT. There's an old saying, the grass is always greener on the other side. We look on at the lives of others and think they have it so much better and easier than we do. We want what they have without ever having walked a mile in their shoes. And as is often the case, if we happen to get what they have, if we find our way into their side of the grass, we realize that it's not as green as we thought. This is almost always the case, except when it comes to Jesus. In today's verse, Jesus tells us, I am the gate. Those who come in through me will be saved. They will come and go freely and will find good pastures. You see, unlike the greener grass we perceive from the lifestyles of the rich and famous, from things like material wealth, worldly status, and even relationships, these things can never fully satisfy us, and thus, at some point, the grass will no longer appear as green as it once did. But the grass on the other side of the gate being Christ, that grass is evergreen. In fact, it's greener and more beautiful and lush than we could ever, in our wildest dreams, fathom. Where everything else in this world will ultimately disappoint and prove to be insufficient to satisfy us, bring us purpose, peace, and true joy, Jesus succeeds. Why? Because He is the only one who offers abundant and everlasting life. He is the only one who offers salvation and sanctification. As the crowning jewel of God's creation, we were created in His image, the image of Christ. Mankind was created not only with a physical body, but like God, with an eternal spirit. This separates us from animals. God created man to live forever in His presence, deeply connected and bound to Him. But when sin entered the world, we lost our connection to the very purpose we were created for, to glorify God, love Him, and be in relationship with Him. This left us with a hole in our hearts, one that needs to be filled in order for us to be whole. And this hole causes us to seek and search for something more, something beyond ourselves, something that gives us purpose and meaning to life, to restore that which was lost because of sin. Restoration, purpose, and wholeness is what we find in Jesus. Theologian Alexander McLaren wrote, Jesus Christ presents Himself before the whole race of man and declares Himself able to deal with the needs of every individual in the tremendous whole. That's why the imagery of the sheepfold is so fitting. You see, the sheepfold was a place of security and comfort for sheep. There they found rest and nourishment. It was a place where the grass was greenest because it was home, their true home. But in order for them to find themselves in the fold, the sheep had to enter through the gate. There was no other way in than the one gate guarded by the gatekeeper. For us, that is Jesus. For there is no other name under heaven given to mankind by which we must be saved. Acts 4:12. We have access, Romans 5:2 and Ephesians 2:18, to the evergreen pastures of God's kingdom through the narrow gate of Jesus, Matthew 7:13 and 14. So the next time you hear someone say the grass is greener on the other side, you can know with certainty and confidence that as a believer in Christ, as one of the good shepherd's sheep, there is no greener grass in all the world than the grass found at God's gate. Dig. Read John 10, verse 1 through 21. Discover. What's different about this grass than the grass of the world? What makes this grass in Christ's sheepfold greener? How have you seen this in your life? Display. Make a list of all the ways your life has changed since you became a believer. What has made your life more evergreen and full of color and life? What purpose and meaning has your life been given? Show your list to another believer and encourage them to do the same. John 10, verse 1 through 21. Verse 1, Most assuredly I say to you, he who does not enter the sheepfold by the door, but climbs up some other way, the same is a thief and robber. Verse 2, But he who enters by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. Verse 3, To him the doorkeeper opens, and the sheep hear his voice, and he calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. Verse 4, And when he brings out his own sheep, he goes before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. Verse 5, Yet they will by no means follow a stranger, but will flee from him, for they do not know the voice of strangers. Verse 6, Jesus used this illustration, but they did not understand the things which he spoke to them. Verse 7, Then Jesus said to them again, Most assuredly I say to you, I am the door of the sheep. All who ever came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them. I am the door. If anyone enters by me, he will be saved, and will go in and out and find pasture. Verse 10, The thief does not come except to steal and to kill and to destroy. I have come that they may have life, and that they may have it more abundantly. Verse 11, I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd gives his life for the sheep. Verse 12, But a hireling, he who is not the shepherd, one who does not own the sheep, sees the wolf coming, and leaves the sheep and flees. And the wolf catches the sheep and scatters them. Verse 13, The hireling flees because he is a hireling, and does not care about the sheep. 14, I am the good shepherd, and I know my sheep, and am known by my own. Verse 15, As the Father knows me, even so I know the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep. Verse 16, And other sheep I have which are not of this fold, them also I must bring, and they will hear my voice, and there will be one flock and one shepherd. 17, Therefore my Father loves me, because I lay down my life that I may take it again. Verse 18, No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of myself. I have power to lay it down, and I have power to take it again. This command I have received from my Father. 19. Therefore there was a division again among the Jews because of these sayings. And many of them said, He has a demon and is mad. Why do you listen to him? 21. Others said, These are not the words of one who has a demon. Can a demon open the eyes of the blind? Acts 4:12. Nor is there salvation in any other, for there is no other name under heaven given among men by which we must be saved. Romans 5:2. Through whom also we have access by faith into this grace in which we stand and rejoice and hope of the glory of God. Ephesians 2:18. For through him we both have access by one Spirit to the Father. Matthew 7:13 and 14. Enter by the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and there are many who go in by it. Verse 14. Because narrow is the gate and difficult is the way which leads to life, and there are few who find it.